Hia ring sang yo I tôi cơ kiều ác sẽ nhơi na he. Hia ring sang yo I tôi cơ kiều ác sẽ nhơi na he. Si cô sa te tam ha ta hay hi tôi cơ kiều ác sẽ nhơi na he. Hia ring sang yo I tôi cơ kiều ác sẽ nhơi na he.
Harvesting Bahidaj is an important part of the autumn himatak. The harvest helps bring the summer rains and marks the beginning of the autumn new year. Once you have finished picking Bahidaj, it is time to cook it into sito or syrup. Begin by putting the fresh fruit in a pot over a mesquite fire. If you collected a lot of June or dried fruit, you may need to add a small amount of water. Bring the fruit to a boil and cook it until all the clumps are fully dissolved, usually about 30 to 45 minutes. Next, strain the Bahidaj. Use a very fine strainer or cheesecloth to remove all of the pulp and seeds, leaving just the juice in your cooking pot. Once fully strained, place the juice back on the fire and begin cooking the sito, or syrup. It is important to keep stirring the sito to make sure it doesn't burn on the bottom of the pot. Because the sito is used for the jochkita, or rain ceremony, many people sing traditional songs, pray, and seek blessing while the syrup is cooking. As the sito cooks, it will reduce in volume and become thicker. Once it covers a spoon and is thickened, it is done. The hot finished sito can be placed in canning jars and saved up to 2 years, but most is either used in the jochkita or eaten right away. Sito isn't the only food that comes from the Bahidaj. Bahidaj guide or sorrel seeds are also used by many people. To begin, the pulp and seeds left behind when you made the sito should be laid out in the sun. After a day or two, the pulp will have dried to a consistency of a damp sponge. Pounding the pulp will release and separate the seeds. The seeds can be sifted through a strainer to separate them from the remaining pulp. Don't worry if a small amount of pulp remains. It adds a sweetness to the seeds. Bahidaj gaij can now be lightly toasted over the stove or in an oven. Many people then grind the seeds and add them to an alto or stew as a nutritious thickener. The Bahidaj harvest is critical to bring the rains to our dry desert. The monsoon storms bring water to the plants, animals, and the people of the desert. Without these rains and flash floods, Tanah autumn fields will not fill with water. Traditional crops such as tepri beans and the squash rely on these rains. Our relatives, the Hashan, brings us many gifts, Bahidaj, sito, gaij, and even the rains that bring precious water to the desert.
Hia ring sang yo I tôi cơ kiều ác sẽ nhơi na he. Si cô sa te tam ha ta hai I tôi cơ kiều ác sẽ nhơi na he.